know, you hear stories, don't you, about him like flying his Stetson hat over and stuff like that, and you think,
yeah, but he does. Yeah, but he did that because he could, and he was Bono.
yeah. I mean, I can't. You know, if I had a hero, if Bono was my hero, and I heard that he did that, I'd be very sad.
Okay.
But I don't believe it. I don't believe he did fly his hat anywhere. I think it's bullshit.
No, I think he wore that hat for years on that Joshua Tree tour and stuff. I reckon he had more than one.
I reckon he might have more than one Stetson, Brian.
Yeah, probably. I reckon. Anyway, let's move on from Bono. Although we could talk about Bono for some time. So be more Bono.
Do you know what I listened to yesterday was New Year's Day by the U2.
Yep.
That song is fucking sick.
Yeah. That era is fucking sick. Those first three albums, Boy, War, October. Yeah. Fuck. What a free album. What a start to your career.
When I was like a hip hop head, when I didn't listen to anything other than hip hop, I went to a house party and there was this guy there and he was a bit of a bellend, but it was his house and he made everyone at the house party watch like a documentary about Joshua Tree.
Okay.
And I was in there like, I knew U2 were, but I never listened to them or anything. And I went in like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But the documentary made me really fascinated by this band that I didn't know. And the kind of like the gospel choir that got involved and shit like that. It was pretty cool.
That album is, that was their peak for me. That was their fifth album, and that's when they peaked. It went a bit up their own arse after that, but I saw them on that tour at the old Wembley Stadium, '87. I was 15. It was Lou Reed supported. Lou Reed and the Pogues. Yeah, Lou Reed and the Pogues supported me that day. Good time.
That's a good lineup.
So anyway, let's move on. Joe Talbot, the most talked about frontman in the most talked about band in the world today. How does that feel?
Terrible, Brian. Fucking terrible. I'll tell you what, it feels terrible, mate. That's how it feels.
But you wanted this for a long time.
Nah.
You wanted to make a living out of music. You didn't want to be the biggest frontman in the band in the world ever.
One, I didn't want to be a frontman. There's things in the band that I'm the leader in, and there's a lot of things that I'm not. There's things that Bowen's the leader in. There's things that Dev's the leader in. There's things that John and Lee are leaders in the band, and like that was always important to us. One of the first times we ever spoke about money, we shook on it. We spat in our hand and shook that we would always split the money evenly and the work evenly. And I think I found over the last 3 albums that I could save my own life by therapizing on the records. And what's happened is people have, they've gravitated to the lyrics in a way that help them, I guess. That's what I've been shared to. Do you know what I mean? People have included me in their stories, like, your lyrics have helped me here, your lyrics have helped me there and stuff. And like, first and foremost, and something that I've always repeated, is that the lyrics were to help me, always. And like, in therapy, I have to say all the horrible shit that I can't say out loud normally through shame, to get it out and then realize its ridiculousness, or realize its violence, or realize how shit it is. The thoughts you have sometimes are very negative, vitriolic, judgmental shit feelings, but you get them out and you realize them. You realize that it's normal to have those feelings, and it's normal to get rid of them. It's normal to, but if you don't say them out loud, sometimes they stew inside you, and then you end up having psychotic episodes or addictions or all the things that I've been through, that I didn't kind of stop until I started the band. And I think it's nice now that I can reflect on these albums and see the progress in me. I've never wanted to preach or try and, I just wanted to save my own life, really, and save other people's through me, but not being psychotic anymore.
But that you're lyrically, you say your lyrics you wrote them to help you intently initially, right from Brutalism. They've affected other people. Gotho is a track that's often quoted by so many people as the one that made them think, "Fuck." And it's never changed. I mean, you lyrically on Joy, it moved on a bit, and this one, I think you're on fucking fire on Mono, totally.
Thank you.
Well,
yeah, it's what it's important that it was important that I wrote them addressing. I didn't want to hide. I wanted to get it out because that's what was going to help. But also, we've acknowledged and really appreciated our fans carrying us and making us who we are. So it was like an exchange. Do you know what I mean? My lyrics are an exchange. They're not just for me. I could stay at home and not do the band stuff and just talk about these things, but it wouldn't be as productive and progressive for me. And
they resonate with people instantly.
Yeah, and it's the resonance from other people that have given me the confidence to feel like I'm not alone, because that's what I wanted. When I started Idols, I was very lonely and very angry and lost, and now I'm not because of it.
The complete opposite to being lonely.
Yeah, I'm definitely not lonely.
Can I just ask you in a minute, what's hanging on the back of your radiator today? We had socks there last time. What we got there tonight?
Oh, here we go. Well, I've been boxing. So, first, foremost, it was raining today and I went for a walk.
Good boy. Well done.
Wraps for my hands and wrist for boxing. Like wraps.
Yeah. Under your glove.
Ankle strap, because basically my ankle is absolutely fucked. Right. So this is an ankle strap.
It looks quite good like that.
Yeah, well, it's also a good accessory.
Why boxing? Just a fitness thing?
It's my favourite sport. I love it. I love watching boxing. I love it. I've always loved it since I was a kid. When I saw, I think the first fight I ever saw, me and my mate snuck into the back of a pub in Exeter and we watched Nigel Benn.
Nigel Benn, Steve Collins, Chris Eubank, that whole era.
Yeah, I think it was the Eubank fight. I mean, I saw he was wearing the leopard print No Fear trunks. It might have been later than that.
That could have been the second Eubank fight where he twisted his ankle and they had to call it off. That was the second one.
Yeah, I can't remember now. But yeah, I mean, I love it. I love it. What I was really, really pleased with about boxing, going to the boxing gym, was the people were so welcoming. And because I had pink hair when I started boxing, and I was a bit like, I'm going to a boxing gym with pink hair. And then one of the guys who was about to have his first professional fight, I think, had pink hair. And
there you go.
I was immediately like, well, my judgments and what's the word when you pre-something? Anyway, my assumptions of the people were completely different to reality, which is if they want, they will tear your fucking head off, but they would never do that because they're disciplined and they're you know, fascinated and obsessed with a sport that teaches you just how dangerous and beautiful boxing is.
It is an art form, but it is a massive discipline. It's all about discipline.
Like like pretty much, I've been doing it for nearly a year now. The only thing I can say I've really got on top of is separating my hands from my feet and thinking about two different movements at once. That's it. I mean, I can hit a bag now without fucking my shoulder up for a month. But I mean, it's not about the punching. It's all about movement, and
yeah,
it's magic. I love it. I love it so much.
Before we move on, what would your intro be? Your ring intro?
Right, this minute, the lover probably.
Yeah, why not? And and what would your boxing name be? You'd be in the blue corner, Joe.
Joe the Lover Talbot.
Hey. So, the last time we spoke, Joe, was back in March.
Yeah.
The Bataclan album has just been released, and we had a chinwag one Friday night. The one thing we couldn't talk about that evening was the new album.
Yeah.
We weren't even allowed to tell everyone what it was called. So, let's talk about the last 6 months, because it's been fucking mad. Let's talk, before we start talking about the music and all that, and the singles and the videos and stuff, I want to talk about Bally TV.
Oh, yeah.
Because Bally TV just turned up out of the blue about 3 months ago. Was that something that you had always planned to do, or was it just perfect for lockdown?
I've always wanted to do, like, you know, as an arrogant swine, I've always wanted to do TV, like music, like a music TV show, like The Word. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And TFO Friday in parts. I used to love that. Those basically 90s TV, when it was cocaine fueled, and everyone was like, you know, it was just wild, and you didn't know what was going to happen next. Even like Big Breakfast was like dangerous compared to TV now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, cocaine, absolutely.
And like I thought it was a really cool, because I hate TV now. Really, don't get me wrong, I'm not like above series. I watch series and shit now and again, not very often. But this is like terrestrial shit, and like I just like that idea of kind of doing something like that with live music. But obviously we couldn't do that, and lockdown started. And as a team, which for anyone listening, it doesn't understand what I mean when I say team, it's Idols, the 5 members of Idols, Marco and Lucy. That's our team. We've also got a booking agent, Natasha, and we've got a label, Partisan, and we've got a beautiful crew of people who are 5 strong. But we've got a very small team comparatively to other bands who play 190 shows a year. We're on an independent label, and our management is not some monster machine crap that people talk about. It's one of my bestest friends from way before I was in a band, and his wonderful partner, who work tirelessly as a family to make this work. And they work really hard. And when people talk about our machine or our team, they're talking about my family, not some corporate fucking cog that without a face or a name. So yeah, just wanted to clear that up.
Fine. So the concept of Bally, the visualization of Bally, how did it when it looked?
We just
where'd that come from?
It come from my mate Jim. We did the show. So like I had a chat with the team, and we all wanted to do something for you lot, you know, for people that liked Idols, because we suddenly had time, and we could, you know, we didn't have to go back to our day jobs. And as always, we wanted to show a sense of gratitude for what we've been given from you guys. And that's a sense of entertainment, really. isn't it? It's like, you know, a lot of people suddenly were stuck at home, trapped in rubbish situations, and we weren't. So we wanted to make something beautiful and fun and slightly informative, although not really. I mean, when is Idol's really that informative? But yeah, just do something like that. And I wanted to do that sort of thing where we interview people. I was told the concept, it would be done remotely, which I thought was great. And then my mate Jim come up with the idea of sticking iPads on like mannequins or whatever. And then I come up with the idea of a big teddy bear. I originally come up with something like, I think it was like a Michael Jordan cardboard cutout, because I always wanted one when I was a kid, because I was obsessed with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan was like, I wanted to be Michael Jordan. I didn't really understand that being heavily overweight and having club feet was going to stop that. But he was like my hero. So I wanted a Michael Jordan cutout with a thing in. But we couldn't do that because you'd have to pay loads of money to have his image on the screen. As any famous, you know, it doesn't matter. If you had to do a Lipa, you'd have to pay loads of money. So we didn't want that. So yeah, it was just that idea of like slightly weird shit. They used to do that in the 90s all the time. Remember that TV show, Baddiel and Skinner, Unplanned? No, the one before that, Unplanned, was sick. It was just them chatting about whatever. Did you see that one?
I remember it, yeah.
So I like that idea where it's just like unplanned chat. So we did the first show with Mike Skinner.
And me.
And Brian Mimpress, Uncle Brian. And like, I realised you can't chat unplanned unless you're a comedian like Frank Skinner. I like Frank. Is it Frank Skinner?
Yeah,
it is Frank Skinner.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You found it hard.
Yeah, unplanned. Yeah, the rest of the episodes, I did a bit of research, grabbed some quotes, structured the conversation slightly so that it can be unplanned but structured. You don't plan what to say, you just plan what to talk about.
Yeah.
So it's great. And the look was, it was kind of like a born out of a bunch of ideas based on kind of 90s surrealist cocaine TV.
It looked lovely. And the guests, all your idea?
No. Like, I mean, the list of guests was long because famous people aren't very available for some shitty TV show they've never heard of. So it was about getting people that were either available and up for it, or available and indifferent, but all set. You know, like the list was comprehensive, but you know, they were all people we wanted to talk to. It was great.
It was a good turnout anyway. I mean, Kate Tempest and your Billy Bragg one. Was that number 3? I think it was fucking fabulous. I loved it. I found out today Billy Bragg's real name isn't Billy as well. While I'm thinking of it, who knew that?
Is it Marvin?
Steve. Steve Bragg. Who knew? I never knew.
I read a really cool article. I guess it was an article or an essay about Billy Bragg being a love song writer and how it paralleled, a lot of his songs paralleled with this writer's life called Michael, terrible with second names. Michael, he used to be music editor of The Guardian, and he sent me this article. It's really sick, really beautiful kind of parallels between Billy Bragg's lyrics and Michael's upbringing, bullying, and dealing with that, and using music as a way of feeling part of the world, which is something I really gravitate to. You know, I really want people to feel not alone. That's all I want from my lyrics as a result of it being heard, is that they don't feel like they're alone in the world. That's all I want.
Some of Billy Bragg's early stuff, Life's a Riot, his first 2-3 albums, the storytelling is fucking phenomenal. He's a hero. Mr. Motivator appeared, dropped. First I heard of it was a phone call. You phoned me up one Monday morning and said, we got this song coming out, we need a video. can you find me loads of people all dressed in lycra and send them to me? When do you want it, Joe? Friday? It was like that. And Lou, Mum, took it on board and fucking delivered.
Yeah.
Why was Motivate the first single choice?
It wasn't going to be a single. And then we were like, well, this is what we said when we all like had this chat, you know, I was saying with the team. It was like, right, everything's fucked now. We're not going to be touring for a while. We need to figure out what we can do. And that meant changing the whole album campaign. Because we were going to do 3 singles and then Bosch album, tour the album, history. As in, the rest is history.
Yeah.
Not changing history forever. So we decided to give people more and to give people certainty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We wanted to surprise everyone with an extra single. So we're going to do 6 singles. And it's like, we'll just give someone, let's do it now. Let's just give people something now. They need something now. Let's break this shit up, the misery, with something. And what better song than Mr. Motivator, lyrically anyway. And like, you know, it's that thing of like, let's just make people feel a bit pumped up and like motivated. Without being patronizing, of course. Whether we did patronize people or not, it's not my fucking problem. So we that was our move, you know. We're like, fuck it, let's just give people something now. Let's fucking entertain. Let's make people feel a bit of joy in this weird time. And then after that surprise, we didn't want to surprise anyone. We wanted to, because, you know, enough uncertainty, let's give a bit of certainty. So, and then we thought, what better way to get people motivated than to actually get them involved in the video. And then Uncle Brian gets the phone call.
And it looks fucking great.
It does, doesn't it?
It looks great. I watched it again today, the first time in a couple of months. It looks fucking great.
Yeah,
really
cool.
So if the schedule hadn't changed, what was going to be the first single? Do you remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was War.
Ooh, that's a fucking statement to start with.
Well, yeah. And then we were like, I don't think everyone needs this super violent sounding song right now with a like busy, because at the time it was wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Everything was about washing your hands and not touching your face and all this stuff. And we had this video that had been filmed by the genius Will Dawn, and it's just like hand, like, and we were like, do you know what? Should we just chill on the War song till later? Because I didn't need that song right then, you know. It wasn't time for war. It was time, because it's all about inner conflict. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like talking about that and getting ramped up about that with people, it's like there's a time and a place for that song, and it's the start of the album. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is for. It's the sound of inner conflict and then the move forward. But without the rest of the album, it's just the sound of the start of the album without the rest of the album. Mm-hmm. There's no resolution to that violent start. It was like, you know, War's good to come out now. Obviously, people are still fucking like in really shit situations, but you have the rest of the album. You have Danka, do you know what I mean? You have some release, you have A Hymn, you have other songs to give you the narrative of the whole album, which is about self-awareness into self-belief, into self-progress. And like just having War, throwing that into the mixer wasn't a good idea.
No.
It wasn't going to make people feel better.
I think America will beat each other up.
So yeah.
Half the world was on fire. America was beating itself up. Yeah, you're right. It was probably not the right time to throw that at everyone. But Motivator was the complete opposite. And went down a fucking storm. Absolute storm.
Yeah, I was so surprised at how many people sent their videos in and they were like, amazing, kitted out and that, you know?
They went for it. Massive. I didn't do one. I didn't send one. Big regrets. Never mind. There'll be.
Why didn't you do one?
No, I don't know. I should have done. I'll do one another day.
What's your?
I was all right though, because the Saturday before, I found myself sitting in my kitchen on a Zoom chat with you, Dev, and Mike Skinner. So I'm thinking, I'm all right now.
Yeah, you were. Yeah. I mean, that was cool. Mike Skinner's amazing, isn't he?
Yeah, that was quite surreal for me because you just told me I'll just be me and you, Brian, for 5 minutes. It'll be fine. Then I'll spend an hour which was great. Thank you for that.
What's your dance move?
Oh, it's just a dad dance. I'm nearly 50, mate. It's just a classic wedding dad dance.
Yeah, I didn't. You don't have to excuse it, mate. I just want to know what it is. Come on.
That's what it is. Or air guitar. There's loads of footage of me. Yeah, loads of footage of me at Idols gigs doing this. Can't help it. It just happens. Can't help it. It's just one of the things. So after Motivator, up comes Grounds.
Yes.
Single. Fabulous song.
Are we going through song by song?
I'm going to go through the singles first.
We can. Well, right, yeah, of course, because you did Mr. Motivator. Yeah. Grounds is my most accomplished song musically. It's the one that I had the most say in musically ever. It was like I came up with an idea, and I explained it to Bowen. I talked, and then it sounds now how it sounded in my head. What, a year and a half ago, which is magic. I just can't believe that happened. It's lovely. You'd
had them lyrics sometime. That wasn't one you just come up with, because there's a lot of stories this year about you. Oh yeah, I come up with a lot of the lyrics of this album off the cuff in the studio in the booth.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell, right? I mean, some of the fucking songs are a bit on the wild side.
I can't tell. I can't tell which one. Stuff like A Hymn and Grounds, I'm thinking, and War, I'm thinking, no, they are written. They are.
No, A Hymn was the one, was the quickest in the vocal booth. I wrote it pretty much on the spot as I went through the song.
Well, then, ignore me then. Yeah. That's not how I got it. No, I don't, because there's been a lot of talk this week about your lyrics on this album.
Yeah.
The simplicity of it all. I think it's one of the most redeeming features of your lyric writing. On all three albums is the simplicity of it all, because you can say so little and it means so much. And I think it's why it resonates with people, and it's why people remember it and all that stuff as well. And it's been strange that some people have been a little tiny bit of a backlash about it, because I was speaking to Marco today, and he said just people forget the words to Mother, which is just you saying how many hours a week your mum worked for 4.5 minutes to 4 minutes. It's not changed. Your style of lyric writing hasn't changed at all. So I was just a bit surprised. I don't know what they want.
I think the difference between, I'd say Mother, for instance, if I was going to be a reviewer right now, a critic, the difference between Mother and pick a song on this album, please.
Carcinogenic.
I mean, the difference between Mother and Carcinogenic, one is I'm painting a very broad picture with Mother. Obviously, it's about my mum, but that was it. It's a bit more poetic than Carcinogenic's, like very obvious. I'm literally singing about the social housing situation in overpopulated parts of the country I'm singing about food banks. It's in there. I'm singing about food banks. Whereas Mother is a broader stroke about me trying to understand what feminism is, the plight of my mum, the plight of her addiction, and the plight of her want to be a better mother from societal points of view. And me exploring that in a poem. They are still simple, and they are still, repeated lines, but the nuance is in there. And for a critic, it's I think when critics look at music and they have to score it, or like at least they not literally score it sometimes, but they explain why it's good or bad. And I think why Mother to a critic is better than Carcinogenic lyrically is because there's nuance, there's room to breathe as an exploratory thing. You can go through Mother and take lots of different meanings and lots of different levels of what I'm talking about. and there's different levels of vulnerability, and like me as a son, me as trying to learn how to be an ally as a man, a middle class white man, and, you know, touching on politics, but without it being overt, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas with Carcinogenic, it's like what I got to when I was writing this album was, do you know what? Like, I want to come out of murky waters, be as obvious as possible so that I can start again. This is like, that's not for critics. Critics aren't going to, like, not a lot of critics are going to like that or find it easy to write about without them sounding simple. Like, as in, the critic can only write about simple lyrics simply. There's no nuance to it, you know? Yeah. And I've kind of demurkified and tried to oversimplify on this album to be as distilled and unpoetic as possible, which is poetic, you know, it is. And I'm not going to apologize for it, but I understand why people don't like it, and I agree with them. That's the point why I like it, and that's why I did it. It's for the same reasons they're saying it's not as good, which is fine. And like, it's good that they don't like it, because it adds to the conversation around the music, you know. It's not for everyone. And this is a very obvious, lyrically, it's a very obvious album. There's a very spacious production. It's like everything is very, but this is this. I'm saying this in this song, and that's what I'm saying. It's not like with Mother, where it's, I'm exploring what it is to be an ally as a son and as, you know, as an alcoholic young man, you know, whatever. Like, that's an exploration. Whereas this is like, do you know what? I just need to answer the critics, because I am the critic. I had so much self-doubt. I was worried about my lyrics so much that I had to just commit and be like, fuck it. I'm just going to be as naive and simplistic as possible so that I can go back to writing poetry. That's what I wanted. I wanted to wipe the slate clean and write the album that just is just like, fuck it. I'm just going to say it exactly how I see it in the very moment. That's why I wrote a lot of them in the booth. And that's why they are very kind of cartoon strip lyrics, really. Don't get me wrong, I'm really happy with them, and I love them, and I think there is still different levels. Like, a hymn is a poem. Like, it is. That's my favorite song lyrically on the album. But Grounds, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's not much nuance there.
Grounds was
great.
Grounds was written
great singing.
Was it written quite quickly? Grounds lyrically.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the longest song. Oh, I can't remember now. Grounds. Wait, let me just have a think. Yeah. I wrote. I tell you what. I wrote that in 2 sittings.
Really?
2 of the lyrics are from the Street song that I wrote, and I sang it in the booth with Mike Skinner and the boys. And he was like, "I'm going to write some lyrics. You write on top of my lyrics." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I had these 2 lyrics. You will not catch me staring at the sun, and something else. And I was like, I'm going to write this song, you know, I'm going to write Grounds with it. It'll fit beautifully.
The video to Grounds?
Yeah, I wanted to, I stole that idea. That was my idea. It was all about, it was all around, like, all the videos were around, like, problem solving through quarantine, really. Like, how do you make a video in quarantine?
Yeah, exactly.
If you use your car, strap a camera to a car. But I got that idea from a short film called The Rendezvous, which is a guy who straps a camera to a Lamborghini in Paris, drives through Paris at like 5 in the morning. So I just like, yeah, we'll do that. That's a quarantine video. And I'll just add a bit of narrative. Well, they wanted me to add narrative to it, as in the video production company, our mate Rob. He was like, I just think people are going to need something, like a payoff at the end. Because The Rendezvous has a payoff. It's like he delivers a package. The driver delivers a package to a woman at the Sacre-Cœur. But I was like, well, the song's about inner conflict, and it's about self-doubt. And like all this, just in case anyone doesn't know, not that they need to know really, it's whatever you want it to be, the lyrics, but they're all at me. The lyrics I wrote at me to make myself feel strong again, because I lost that strength and self-belief from Joy and the campaign around Joy, because I was knackered and, you know, lost again and back to drinking and all sorts. Anyway, so Grounds was like me getting rid of me and being like, fucking stop being obsessed with what other people think of you. Stop being a cunt. So I wrote that song for me. And then I was like, well, it's a song about me. So if I'm the driver and then I get out of the car and then I get accosted by me and then I get back in the car. It's like a metaphor for the song.
It was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. It was a good video. Good video.
Good.
A month later, A Hymn gets released. And I think that was the song that pricked a lot of people's ears up. Because it was completely unexpected, I thought as well. I was expecting war. I hadn't heard war at the time, but I was expecting war.
Yeah.
Or a song of that vein. And then I hinted. Do you know what? There's been so much talk on the Afghan this week about the album, obviously. And I think A Hymn is a firm favourite of so many people.
Yeah.
Because it fits beautifully in the album where it appears. It gives you that little breather almost. That you want, that you need, because the album doesn't. It's relentless.
Yeah,
it just grabs you by the throat and it laughs at you for like 40 odd minutes. A Hymn is a beautiful song. The thing as well about A Hymn, it takes me back to the Welcome EP.
Yeah,
it reminds me very much of 26, 27. It's really got that feeling of early Idols. The guitar line, the guitar sounds and stuff like that. It's a beautiful bit of work.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, that's Bowen. Bowen wrote that song.
Did he?
Yeah, I came to Bowen with an idea. I was like, I really want to write a hymn, and write a song freely, but about consumerism and shame, and like why I carry so much shame from my past, and how that manifests in my behavior, and like how really that's how everyone behaves, you know. There's a reason why there's only billboards fucking plastered around poor areas, you know. You don't see billboards in posh areas. And that's because people make money from selling shit to people don't get told they're good enough ever. So you buy shit and you buy a life and you invest in ideas and lives because you're not clever enough, you're not fit enough, you're not white enough, you're not, you know, young enough, you're not this, you're not that. And then lo and behold, everyone's in $3,000 worth of debt, you know, for at Christmas time because they got to fucking try and, you know, live up to the projected standards of what a happy family looks like. And it's it's cancer. It's dangerous. And yeah, I just wanted to write a song that's kind of like a hymn, but like a new hymn.
It works very well. The video to A Hymn, more cars, more driving.
Well, it's quarantine vibes, do you know what I mean? Is it either get in your car, is either that or we do loads of house videos. No one needs that. Can you imagine what's on my radiator?
It was lovely as well to see you with your everyone's mums and dads and granddads and stuff like that. It was a really lovely idea.
So that was Ryan Gander, the British artist, Ryan Gander.
Okay.
He got in touch for a friend, John from John.
Right.
John from John was Ryan Gander's, I want to say assistant, but that might be like, that might not, John might kick off about that. So I'm going to say assistant manager. I'm just going to put my wraps and that back on the radiator because they're not quite dry. Sweaty bastard. So yeah, I don't know what John will approve of his title. But yeah, he worked with Ryan Gander anyway. And Ryan Gander had this idea for a video, sent it over to me. And I was like, that's a hymn. That's a hymn. That's fucking just, you know, that idea of because there's a, like, with A Faith in the City, I wrote that lovingly about my uncle Noel, who was I said he was a deacon, but I don't think he was. He was like either a deacon or a deacon's assistant, again, something like that.
Okay.
He's Catholic anyway, and he was involved in the Catholic Church. But he was an amazing man, a really lovely, funny, loud, but patient dude. I say patient, actually. He was a bit like John Cleese in Fawlty Towers. He wasn't that patient. But he was always patient with me. And I love the idea that he showed a really beautiful side of faith. Do you know what I mean? And there's a beautiful side to treating yourself to a nice shirt or a nice pair of trainers. But
so you all got in a car and went to Tesco's?
Yeah, because there's that tender moment, isn't there, whenever you're with your parents, there's a moment where, like, being watched, CCTV wise, those cameras were just strapped in the car. There was no one in the car with us. It was like this car, and it was like strapped to the front, and it just kind of moved with the car, so it always followed you, like. And you forget it's there, and there's just these tender moments where you're being driven around by your old man, and you forget. Do you know what I mean? And it's nice.
What's significant about the teletext line? Because it's the only line in that video where you look directly at the camera.
You'll have to ask Ryan Gander. He just asked me to look at the camera for that line.
Oh, okay.
I think he just liked that line.
And is it close to your heart?
Teletext.
Yeah.
The old technology that I just started to get a grip with before it all went mental. Yes, I missed that. I miss teletext. I miss the simplicity of having 4 channels.
Yeah,
you know, I'm not going to moan about it. Like, the internet is sick, and I like Netflix. Well, I don't like Netflix. I haven't got it, but I like, being able to
having 4 channels, and there's always something to watch with 4 channels. Now you've got 8. There's nothing to watch.
Yeah, there's like, when MTV had music and all that.
Model Village came out a month after AM.
Yeah.
Video?
By the Michelle Gondry, yeah. So WeTransfer said they would give us some money for a video. So we were like, fuck. Who do we get?
Okay.
Well, who do you ask rather than who do you get? Because I learned that with Bally TV. It just depends on whether they're available or not. It's not like too big or too small. Like, it's just, or too famous. You know what I mean? It's just people are busy all the time. So anyway, yeah. So top of our list, Michelle Gondry, and he got back, said he'd do it with Olivier, his brother, and like. I don't know. Have you seen any of his films? He's animated his conversations with Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky, as he calls him. Noam Chomsky, for anyone who doesn't know, is
I watched the
fucking badass. That's what he is. Noam Chomsky's like a far left, political thinker, philosopher. American, who's anti-war, anti-capitalist, but he's like amazing speaker, thinker, writer, all that stuff. And he had like filmed conversations with Noam Chomsky and then animated them. So I was just like, I mean, I had no question in my mind because he was doing animations on Instagram and stuff. So I knew that's what he was going to be doing because it's quarantine friendly. Again, animation, car videos, those are the most quarantine friendly.
Hopefully not the future. We can move on from that.
Oh, but fuck. Yeah, man, I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Lyrically, Model Village.
Eh?
Lyrically, Model Village was the first time this year that people started to have a bit of a moan. Or the critics started to go, really?
Yeah.
Were you surprised?
No.
I wasn't either.
Song is the first line in the song, Brian. A lot of nine-fingered boys in the village. I mean, it's not exactly, I don't know. It ain't poetry, is it?
Did you write that on the quick? Was that one you thought about? There's a lot of words in that song, Joe.
I started it quick. I finished it quick. There was a gap in between.
Okay.
No, I did that in one go. Yeah, that took a while. There was one song where I did it. Well, it's because there was a couple lines from Mike Skinner. That's right. But yeah, no, like that wasn't a quick one. No.
Was that? I don't know if I can talk about this because if you don't want to talk about it, just say shut the fuck up, Brian. There was a moment at one point in this album where Slow Tie was going to appear.
Yeah.
And then he had his little public meltdown or whatever. I
don't think he had a meltdown. I think that's a bit like, I think he made
a mistake.
He made a couple of mistakes.
Did he record his bit for the album?
Yeah.
You know what to talk. Let's move on.
No, I'll talk about it.
Because
I mean, it's got nothing to do with his NME awards. It's still in the cooker.
Okay, so it might happen.
Yeah, maybe.
I hope so. I'd like to hear it. Ultramono was.
So
go on.
One thing I was going to say. One thing you've got to understand, Brian. With like, it's like, you know, there were moments when I reacted to Model Village and people's reaction to it by being like, oh, fuck's sake, they don't get it. But they don't get it. They don't get it. It's what Rauschenberg says. It's like, you don't like my art, you just don't get it. Just get fucked. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. But there's more to it than that, because I've taken away the nuance in the poetry and I've made it kind of a series of statements that are still poetic. There is still nuance in it, but the style of it means that people take it literally, like they think I'm talking about a village. What I did was write about the model village as a metaphor for where England has gone. But that's been lost on people because of how I wrote the song. And the only person to blame for that is me.
Well, because you used the word village. So the mentality of being is that he's talking about that classic.
Yeah, I also say specific things like, you know, a lot of nine-fingered boys in the village, you know, so, but there's levels to that, you know. It's something you joke about, is that, you know, ideas are inbred, you know. There's a sense where England is eating itself. People think they're protecting an empire that they do not fucking understand. And that comes from this inbreeding of ideologies that just regurgitate down from generation to generation without any fucking progress. So obviously there is nuance there, but like, it is what it is. I'm not upset that it's misunderstood because I made it very simplistic and in turn complicated. But that's my fault, you know. If I want people to understand, I need to write more fluently.
Yeah, but I don't think you need to explain yourself.
No. I'm just saying, like, you know, there was a point where I was just feeling sorry for myself, and then I realised I dug that hole. As for Slow Tie, I can vouch for him. He's a very, very, very wonderful human being. And I've made a lot of mistakes in my past that I've learned from, and he's learned. I'm sure of it.
Good. And he's a fabulous talent as well. And it's just to the point where it's jaw-dropping sometimes.
There was a couple of features on the album. I mean, that, you know, that we, you know, there's a, it's not like, you know, there's something else there.
Okay.
But there's a couple of features on the album that didn't make it. They didn't fit sonically. They weren't right. But yeah, that's a difference.
When you recorded Joy, there were 3 songs that were recorded during those sessions: Guillotine, Marxist, and Alcohol. The 2 of those eventually came out, and one of them didn't.
Yeah, Alcohol. Yeah,
because of Disney and their regime.
Yeah.
How many songs were recorded in this session that weren't on the album?
None.
Okay, all 12.
Yeah, you know, there's a couple of things that we omitted from the songs because they didn't fit. But
no complete tracks.
No. No, we wrote the album like last year, so we wrote it June, July, August, and then recorded in September. So we didn't have time to. So the idea of Ultra Mono was to be this like whole entity of impact of self, you know, and that meant not having any fluff. So anything that didn't quite fit, we got rid of, and that's you know, that was our choice.
The last single was going to be Rains.
Yeah,
and I think you still wanted it to happen.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I was just like, I didn't know, but I was just like, well, we told everyone we're going to put it out. Surely we should put it out, but I'm not on the internet. And Marco was saying like, loads of people are saying that they've had enough. I was like, that's fucking cool. So I said, well, why don't we just do one of those voting things and ask the people what they want? Like, why not?
Because Rains would have been track 5 out of 12, and I think that was it. I said the complete opposite. I said, Marco, everyone's going to want it, and he went, no, they won't, and they didn't. The vote was huge for no. I've had enough. I want to wait for the whole album. Yeah, which surprised me. Really surprised me.
I was really happy with that. I thought that was a really cool response from our fans to be like, nah, just leave it, because there is a sense of a bit of magic in that. Looking forward to our album that way. It's a really beautiful thing. Like I really appreciate it. That was my favourite thing that happened with this album, was people going, just leave it. It's a lovely. That's a good sentiment for me. That that they don't want everything straight away.
I just wanted people to hear that track because it's a fucking monster. It's a monster of a track. Mm. Was there a video for it? Was there a video made for it?
Yeah.
It's got a car in it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not a car vid. Although, yeah, no, it's not. No cars. It's a new video. There was another video made by the same guy who made the video, but there's just something not right with it, and it's thinking over and over and over. And then I was like, oh shit, yeah.
So do you think Rains will happen? Will get released?
Yeah.
It's going to happen. It's going to get released.
Yeah, got a video and all that.
Good.
And another song. We got another video. Oh.
Yeah. What, for another song?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. All right. Tell me no more then. So Ultra Mono was announced on the 19th of June.
Yeah.
Pre-orders went live. Today, and I haven't told anyone this, you must know already. Today, Rough Trade announced that it's their most successful pre-order in the history of Rough Trade. That's fucking stupid.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
I think what our fans have done is build something of a community that have built that magic around our release, you know, like it wouldn't, that's not anything to do with us really. That's to do with you guys building each other up and supporting each other and making each other excited about this, which is why that happened, you know, which is it's a one-off. It doesn't happen. It's not because it's the best album in the world ever. I mean, it's fucking good, but
it's up there. It's up there. Is alternative titles, Ultra Mono, what was it? What other titles in your head before Ultra Mono?
No, Ultra Mono was the start of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, number one, midweek.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be number one, isn't it?
Lucy Ben hasn't slept since last Saturday.
Lucy Bent hasn't slept since 2019.
Because she's convinced the streaming figures are going to come in and kill the party.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can imagine they will, yeah, because we're definitely, people have bought our album. That's a heavy,
yeah,
which is amazing. You know, like that is a feat in itself, is it not? That people are going out spending their
but
money.
the gap between you and number two, and number two in this chart this week is "Sign of Times" by Prince. How fucking weird is that?
Sign.
How would you ever think years ago you'd have an album sitting above "Sign of Times" by Prince?
I mean, I'd have to smoke a lot of bath salts to think that.
It's
What's that in France? A skinny man died of a big with a little name.
Darling Nikki, it's a great album. Anyway, you've sold 20,000 units more than he has. Not that he gives a shit, but that's how it sits at the moment. I thought Deftones were going to be your rivals this week.
Yeah, me too.
They're about number 7. But what's nice at number 8 is The Best of Slade.
What is that? Is that released this week?
The Best of Slade, yeah, on vinyl for the first time, and it's jumped in chart number 8. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. They're in a fight with Deftones. It's fucking fabulous.
Yeah, I love it. We were in the queue with them in an airport once.
Slade?
Yeah. Not Noddy, but the rest of them.
Noddy fucked off years ago.
Did he?
Well, he earns £750,000 every Christmas in royalties for that one fucking song.
He gets a tenner, doesn't he, every time someone says Christmas?
He wrote that. He wrote that. It's all his own work, written by Noddy Older. Yeah, I read £750,000 every fucking year, just in radio plays and shit alone. He left that band a long time ago. He don't need them boys anymore. Well, they're fucking off to Benidorm to do all of these. What does it mean to be number one? What will it mean? Fuck off.
No, I'm joking. What does it mean?
What will it mean to be number one?
Honestly, it's a really, something I've been saying to journalists a lot, whether they keep it in or not is probably not my issue. But the thing that I've learned over this time is just how lucky we are to be able to do all this stuff that we've been doing, and to have a number one is because of you lot. It's unfathomable to think what we have. It's like we're like the only band with it, and it's amazing. It's not like I don't want to be the only band with it. I've got friends who are in bands who I think are just as good as us. You know, I don't think we're better than them, and I wish they had the same support. And I'm not saying, pick them instead of us. Stay with us. You know what I mean? No, but it's something you can't ignore. Is the luck of it. The beauty of it is that I feel safe, and it's something that I lost when my mum got ill when I was 16. I never felt safe. I never felt like I was part of a team or a family or a unit. You know, my stepdad died when I was 19, and I was my mum's carer after that. She was paralysed down the right side and couldn't speak. So I had a lot of time with someone who was reliant on me. He didn't speak. So it was very like someone who carried me all my life. And I was, by that point, very angry, very lost, drugs, alcohol stuff. And I realised there's a point where I was DJing, where playing music made me, something I've always loved was listening to music. I know that sounds like such a fucking stupid thing to say. I think everyone does. But as soon as I started playing records out, or CDs out, I didn't play records, I suddenly felt this connection to the world. With people listening to the music I was playing, there's this thing where I'm doing something productive with something that makes me feel safe. But then one beyond that, I started a band, and suddenly I had 4 guys in a room that were carrying me. And then beyond that, I suddenly had 10 people coming to the Oxton Bar and Grill watching us, carrying us. And I suddenly just felt this place in the world where I was safe for the first time in 20 years. And now I've sat, you know, here in Cardiff with my dad's for months, just going, what the fuck? How it's you know, it's like winning the lottery. You just got to sit there and go, I am so fucking lucky.
I think with the community, especially with the Afghan, the momentum has run in parallel with you guys from that time that Lindsay had that conversation with Lou when all 3 of us were at the Moth Club, at that London show that was fucking crazy, and that group was started in March 2017. It's just running parallel. The bigger, the more the band's picked up, the more popular you've got, and obviously people have just come along and joined that community and got involved. It surprises me as much as it doesn't surprise me. That's the thing, because I know what this band means to me. I know what you and the guys mean to me, and what you produce, etc., etc. So, and it resonates with me completely, and I get it. It's just part of me now. So I'm not surprised that other people feel that way as well. But it is something special. It is something fucking unique. And like you said, I wish it was more. I wish it was more of a thing. Because there's a lot of fucking envy as well. You know that people want it elsewhere. And the other thing,
you know, yeah, maybe
number one. The only other downside of number one is there's no Top of the Pops anymore. How good would that have been?
Yeah, I thought about that. I'd love to be miming with like Slade.
It would have been fabulous to see you on Top of the Pops.
Yeah. But yeah, so number one, it just makes me feel safe because of the people that have gone out and bought our records. You know, that's why we're number one. It's not because of streams. Well, that's why we're number one for now.
Yeah.
Obviously, let's not get cocky. But the reason we're number one now is because people have gone out their way and spent their wages on our record, which is amazing. That's like
a lot of people.
It's a powerful feeling. It's feeling safe. Is you know, because I feel like I've been forgiven for all of my mistakes. Not all of my mistakes, but some of my mistakes by the people that know me. And now I can feel like, you know, we're doing something with the forgiveness that I've been given. We're doing something with the passion that we have for each other and what we love by having this community and like, you know, just making each other feel like we're part of something much bigger than ourselves. You can't beat that. Community is like, it's an underappreciated thing, and it's something that governments hate, because the more you know, the more safe you feel in a community. And this is something that I hope the Afghan understand, is that as soon as it starts getting cliquey in any way, it needs to disperse. That fraction of the community needs to disperse and remember that a community ain't a community if it's not allowing people in. That's a tribe, and that's something completely different. And like, there's room for everyone, not just for our Idols fans, you know, fuck it. Like, you guys are beyond that now. But it's like, the government are terrified of people that look after each other, because then there's no reliance on the fucking tyrants that aren't paying taxes and are blaming the poor for the demise of public services. in a time of austerity. Johnny two fucking houses.
Yeah.
Twiddling his thumbs. Anyway, but you know, you're building something frightening.
I know.
To the times with love and compassion.
Well, it's been a bit, I'm not going to lie, it's been a bit cranky this week because you've got the people going, I'm not too keen on that track, and then loads of people going, it's fucking great, and all that happens. I think people are going stir crazy. It's like giving loads of kids loads of sugar, and then they can't go out and run around the garden and get rid of it. People so desperately get out, so desperately go and see these live, so desperately go and stand in a room and listen to it loud with a couple of beers and a couple of mates and stuff. It's quite frustrating, really.
Yeah, I didn't really think that far ahead to this point where we release an album and then it's like I've written a bunch of one-sided, antagonistic, simplistic bollocks lines with no gratification whatsoever. Just a little window onto the internet, people telling me I'm a cunt. It's like, that was a bad move, and I've just felt like a piece of shit for 2 weeks.
It's fine.
Fucking madness. But yeah,
but
we'll get there. We'll get there. You know, we'll play it live soon, and it'll feel magic. And in the meantime, you know, also, if anyone is watching this, if someone says they don't like a song or don't like the album or think I'm a cunt, that's completely fine. And it's best to not defend it and just accept that their opinion is completely valid, because we are just a band that make, some might say, divisive music. So just like, it's something to celebrate is people not liking it, because it means they've got their own fucking mind and they've got their own shit. And you might learn something from their opinions. You might find that they like something that you might love that you wouldn't have opened up to.
Obviously, live this year. So you gave us all Abbey Road.
Gave is a strong word. I'd say we put you through Abbey Road.
Have you watched it back in its entirety?
Fuck no, I don't watch stuff like that.
You should do.
I'm not watching that.
Because I spoke briefly to all the boys after Abbey Road, and they've all gone, oh yeah, I'm not sure, oh fuck, I'm not happy with that bit, and oh god, and all this kind of stuff. You need to watch it back, because I think you've all got in your head that it was something not quite as good as it fucking was. I'm not gonna lie, there were some points where I was going, oh shit, what's going on here then? Generally, Joe, I loved them, and I know most people adore them as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing it for a start, because we fucking needed that release without a doubt. But it was fucking good.
Yeah, I'm glad we did it. I'm not like, oh god, I don't want to watch it because I'm ashamed or anything. I just don't watch our performances or like listen to our records or anything, because I don't know, it'd just be weird watching myself. But like, it was just stressful, man. It was like we wanted it to be amazing, and when we're really harsh critics on ourselves, and we're rusty as fuck. Last time we played was almost a year ago, and we were amazing then, because we've been playing like every day for 3 years.
One of the most, for me anyway, one of the highlights of it is when you stopped some of those songs and went, no, I want to start again. I can't think of another band that would do that in that situation at all. I can't think of many bands that would actually physically go and do that anyway in that live situation. But for you to go, fuck, no, start again, was, brave is not the word. It was just fucking good to see. It was good to see.
Well, it's an opportunity, isn't it? It was like like some bands did live performances at venues and they were great. Crows, DC, loads of bands did sick performances and whatever. We were like, oh, let's do something, different or whatever, as usual. And we thought, Abbey Road, how can we make that experience at Abbey Road? Instead of it leaning on Abbey Road isn't something that we're about, I mean, I love the Beatles and that, but it didn't mean anything to me really. Playing there, it wasn't like, oh, Abbey Road, oh my god, I'm so nervous about playing Abbey Road. I just didn't. It's not my sort of thing. I don't think about that. But obviously, it's a sick studio. Do you know what I mean? I'm not stupid. The room was amazing.
The history of that room is shocking.
Okay. I wouldn't know much about it. I just know the Beatles played there, which is sick. That's enough for me. But I was like, what? How can we do it? Like, let's make it. We wanted to make it like a fly on the wall type thing, because it's like, we are rusty. There's no pretending it, and we're all about that. You know, like the perfection of imperfection, the humanity of music. You know, that's what we've always been about, and that was just an opportunity to do that. Do you know what I mean? Just be like, let's and the lighting looked like a giant microscope. It was fucking terrifying.
Do you think you can't watch it now? Do you think it'll ever get released again? It'll end up online somewhere because it's obviously been and gone.
Yeah, we'll do it on loads of formats to everyone's disdain.
T-shirt version, purple vinyl, black vinyl.
Yeah.
Arcade wooden floor vinyl.
Nice. Yeah.
All that shit. Yeah, do that.
Do that, yeah.
Do that. Be nice. Anyway, I enjoyed it. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Thanks for watching.
You got involved in a few other albums this year. June, Jenny Beth's album.
Yeah.
Good fun?
Yeah, it was good fun. I recorded that in San Francisco. We were on tour in America. And I went into a cupboard in the music hall. Is it the American Music Hall, I think it's called? Okay. In San Francisco. And yeah, recorded it there. It was a really important song to me because I had a lot of issues with jealousy and self-loathing and projecting that onto other people. So a song about jealousy was good. It was healthy to talk about. And that was like, you know, lyrics that I found easy to write and were quite poetic. It was quite nice to have a break from ultra mono kind of starkness, you know.
Did you write your part in that song?
Yeah.
Yours. A month later, Anna Calvary.
Yeah, that was
released her re-recorded remix album, whatever you want to call it. That's fucking good because she's a fucking rock star.
I mean, so's Jenny Beth. They're both,
yeah, of course,
behemoths, and I'm there like chubby twat singing on top of their amazing songs. But I tell you what, I did obviously. That's like kind of a cover, a recover, whatever.
Yeah.
Like singing that was weird because I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, I can't. But I tried to sing. Yeah, doing all that. Yeah, bit crooning.
Because vocally, she's incredible. That woman, fucking just crazy. I was lucky enough to see her at the Windmill for the Independent Music Week. She did a little gig there for Lamo.
Wow.
That was fucking mad on that little tiny stage, just crazy. So looking forward to that Brixton performance of her, without a shadow of a doubt. Well done for that one. And then you appeared on Mr. Skinner's album.
Yeah.
On his single. How was it appearing? Because you were a big fan of the Streets for years.
Yeah.
Right. All that stuff. How is it when you end up in the studio singing on his album? Is that a real pinch it moment for you?
Nah, because I had a job to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, sitting with him afterwards, doing a video with him. But, like, really, the first time we met him, it's weird. It's just a weird thing. You know, when you're in a room with someone, I'm not very good at thinking about things like that, you know? I'm not like, fuck, I'm actually doing a song with Mike Skinner until like years later. Someone will explain it, say it in a way where it hits me, but I can't do it myself. I just think I've got to do this well because it's Mike Skinner.
And it was the third video this year where you was in a car.
That's very true.
Brio, mate. Got the full set now.
Wait, what other videos are coming out? No more cars. I might
No more.
actually. Do you know what? I had an idea. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
The Lover.
What, the video to that?
Yeah. Me in a
Dodge
car.
him. Dodge him.
I'll tell you afterwards. It's sick. It's sick.
Okay.
When I tell you, you'll be like, "That's a great idea," but you'll never do it.
So let's go back over some of the tracks that we haven't talked about yet. We covered War. Well, War, we didn't cover War because War got released as a single, as a video the day the album dropped.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the best opening track of an album so far out of the three?
Yes.
It just attacks you within seconds. I'm still debating whether it's a better opener than Hill because that song is everything. But it's a huge song. The video's quite something as well. How much input did you have in that video?
None. Will Dawn's a genius. You know, he come up with the idea, talked about it, showed us the treatment for it, and I was just like, wow, sick. He built a rig. Will Dawn built a rig so that the camera followed the hand for that. Like, he's a G.
It works so well.
Yeah.
That live, it's going to be the opening track of the next tour. It has to be, obviously.
Yeah.
It's gonna. I can't see it. I can't imagine it yet as an opening track of a, because it's just gonna be fucking manic, absolutely fucking manic.
Well, it gives me an opportunity to come out and say hello before we play. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, you know, Colossus was that cinematic building.
Yeah.
No words. I'm going to come out and be like, right, split the crowd straight away. Let's go.
Let's have it.
Yeah.
Let's have it.
Can you imagine the tension, our first gig back?
No. Well, when's the first one's going to be the first? Where I can't. Where the in-store? I don't know where the first one is. I think it might be in Scotland. I can't remember where that tour starts. But
could you imagine if it started in fucking Scotland? That'd be sick.
That's what I think it was there. It's up. It's not down south anyway.
Let's have a look. I'll get it on my calendar.
You got it there?
Yeah. Okay, no. Oh, no, it's not. It's the first one. Oh, I don't know if I can say, actually.
Oh, no, because, yeah, don't say.
I don't know if they're announced or not, so I don't know. I'll fuck this up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
slow tie. You've already ruined, you know, slow tie surprise.
There's more I could talk about slow tie. There was a whole fucking shebangy tour that was going to happen sometime last year, but let's not talk about that.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just COVID, isn't
it? I've lost my train of thought now. Grounds we've spoken about, Motivate Me, Anxiety is the most brutalism track from this album. That could have been on brutalism, that track, I think.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ultramono is like the unification of both albums. Do you not think?
It's it's exactly where you need to be. It's exactly, it couldn't have happened without the first two. I adore brutalism completely. I love probably about 80% of Joy. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a few tracks on it that make me go, because I was worried about the direction that this band I love that might go in. So I was massively pleased that album 3 wasn't Joy 2.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that was one of the first things I said. I said, we're not making another Joy.
No. But the biggest, not the criticism, the biggest amount of people that this week have said, I'm not in love with Ultramono, are the people that discovered you during Joy. And will quote those huge Danny Delco songs and stuff like that as their most favourite Idols tracks. So that's always going to happen. But I found this week the people that fell in love with you in 2017 when Brutalism arrived have completely and utterly taken this album to their heart.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if anyone is expecting album 4 to be like Joy or Ultramono or Brutalism,
in my head, I can't think or fathom where the fuck album 4 is going to go.
Luckily, I can.
Because they're so fucking. This is Brutalism, this is Joy, this is Mono. They are so different, kind, and on their own. I can't see where Four's gonna go. Don't do me a jazz album, please.
No. It's still gonna sound like. It's still gonna sound like all three albums, but approached differently. You know, we're always gonna sound like Idols. You know, the Pixies sounded like the Pixies all the way through. Radiohead sound like Radiohead. You listen to, like, arguably their worst album, Pablo Honey, and you listen to Kid A, you can still tell they're the same band.
Yeah.
But, like, there's different ways of skinning a cat, and we're going to keep skinning cats until someone, like, stops us.
It says no more fuckers.
And we don't want to get bored. And I never want to do another Danny Nedelko. I never want to do another...
Great.
Oh, no, I mean, I don't like Great. But I mean, like, I never want to do another song, you know? 1049 Goffo is 1049 Goffo. There's no need to do another one. You've got those songs. I don't need to talk about those things again. They're there. If I want to sing about depression, I can sing about 1049 Goffo.
Yeah.
If I want to sing about inner conflict, I'll sing war.
Album 4 is underway. You're in the writing process?
Yeah. It's going to be that same thing that happened last time, Brian. You've already ruined loads of surprises already.
Okay, let's move on. Kill 'Em with Kindness. Tell us how Jamie Cullum got to be involved.
Well, I met him at Mercury's, and I was like, all right. And he was like, oh, fucking hell, it's Joe Talbot. And he was being interviewed on the BBC.
Brilliant.
And then, yeah, we just chatted for a bit. And then, like, that was it, because he was a judge, you know, and I felt a bit bad. Like, I knew we weren't going to win it, but, like, I felt bad, like, chatting to him too long. Like, he's trying to butter me up. But I used to, when I worked in the kitchen, we used to listen to the show every week, like, and so I am a fan. I don't know any of his music. I literally don't know a note, but I liked his show on the radio. So I said I was a fan of his radio show, and then he just got in contact and said, like, if you have a new piano on the album, I'm your man. And we were like, fuck yeah. What better way to piss off the pricks and get Jamie fucking Cullum on it?
With a really lovely hug of an intro, and then you come along and chat everyone head off. Bang.
Kill 'Em with Kindness, mate. It works. It's the beautiful works that song needed. It makes complete sense. Having Jamie Cullum on the album is killing them with kindness.
It does work, yeah.
He reeks of fucking poise and like, I don't know what the word is with him. He's like, he's got a peace about him, you know? He's Jamie Cullum, like.
He's nice. Is he nice? I think he must be nice.
What, is he nice? Yeah, he's fucking sound. Yeah, he's really sound. But I mean, like, as the way he presents himself is like what we're about. That is what we're about. Be enthusiastic about what you love. Work hard for what you love. Be what you love.
And he does it.
Like, there's no kudos in getting him on the record, but there is, to me. That makes me fucking think we're cool. I think we're cooler because we've had Jamie Cullum on a record with David Jam. And
I do too. We've spoken about Model Village.
Sorry.
My Untitled Pas Moi. Did you get that? I'll say it again.
Untitled
Pas Moi, right?
Shit.
That's fucking perfect diction there. Last time we spoke, you told me you've been learning French, and then I read an interview with Jenny Beth who said you fucked that line up.
Yeah.
But
I never said I was fluent, Brian. Did I?
But she still went with the one you wrote.
Yeah, well, I said, she was the one who told me it was wrong. I was like, we were in the TV studio doing a show, and she was like, I was like, oh, we're doing a song in French. I was like, shit, Jenny Beth could sing on the chorus. That'd be fucking amazing. And she was like, you realise that's not how you say "Don't touch me." I was like, oh no. She was like, yeah, it's wrong. I was like, fuck. We asked the engineer in the studio. We're like, how do you say? No. I said, is this right? Ne touche pas moi. And he went, yeah. Yeah. He obviously didn't understand the question. I was like, you fucking toe rag. So anyway, but she was right. She was like, you got to keep it. It's more honest. You just got to keep it that way. Changing it is just like not ultramono, is it? It's not what ultramono is about. You can't be momentary acceptance of the self and then change something so you don't look like a dickhead.
It's a blinding track.
Do you know who's really forgiving? All the French journalists have been very nice about it. I bet you the others are like, he's a fucking cunt. But they're all like, yeah, that's fine. We get it. We get it, what the song means. Like, yeah, good.
Carcinogenic, we've touched on briefly. One of my highlights of that track is the backing vocals and the almost lazy way that they've been delivered. It just works for me, totally. You've mentioned
lazy
as in the delivery of the backing vocals.
Like my vocals, or the backing
vocals.
That Carson and Jen. Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely fucking love it.
It was in my head. I was just like, it needs to be a canon. It's called a canon, I think.
Okay. So, Dev, backing vocals on this album, are there any?
Yeah. Model Village.
I'm a Fucking Dragon.
He nearly got arrested for that.
What?
We're like, we need backing vocals on Model Village. You know? And so we called him up and he just did it in his flat. He got absolutely shit-faced. And obviously he's there with his headphones on. Like, I'm a fucking dragon. But his neighbour called the police, so they turn up, like, apparently you've been screaming, I'm a fucking dragon. And he's shitted, like, yeah, I was just recording my album there. So he did the best job on the album, really. Do you know what I mean?
I love the idea that was recorded down the phone as well. That's brilliant. Bless him.
Yeah, he's a wonderful man, Dev. He is a wonderful man. Just not a great singer.
No, but he does the Dev very well. Yeah.
It's just the Dev tone is a bit thin. This top makes me look like I've got proper boobs.
Tits, I think that's the word, Joe.
Tits. Like it.
That's an age thing, mate. Don't worry about it.
Fuck off.
Rains, probably the loudest song you've recorded. That chorus is fucking ludicrous. It's been the most successful track on the album, feedback-wise.
Is it?
Yeah, hands down, without a doubt. People fucking adore it, totally. The whole sound of it, the whole repetitive nature of the lyric. And that chorus is like, fuck. There it is. Yeah. It's a wonderful track. Are you pleased with that song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I love it. I love all the tracks on this one. Yeah.
Next track is The Lover.
There's only 2 songs of ours I don't like.
That you've recorded completely?
Yeah.
Great is one of them.
Yeah.
It's got within the first album then. The other one. Rachel Koo.
Nah, I love Rachel Koo.
Do you?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. What is the other one then?
See, that's proper poetry, mate. I'm not actually singing about Rachel Koo. Do you know what I mean? There's nuance there. I mean, people probably think I'm just talking about fucking Rachel Koo, but
yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the other song then? You're not too keen on?
Mayday.
What, really?
Do you know what? I don't know why, man.
Get over that one, Joe. From an introduction, early days. It's a good tune.
I mean, all the stuff early days is a bit like us, a bit sideways. Like we were trying to be other people too much, but we got there.
We're going to move on.
The lyrics are kind of all right now, aren't they? Your lung, what is it? Dancing eternal darkness, your lungs are harness, never to see day again.
It's poetry.
Poetry. Yeah, that's real poetry, that is.
The order of this album, the process, where they all fit, was that a quick process? Because for me it flows beautifully, this album. Did you have to think about that? Or did you know whether that song was going to come after that one?
I think Bowen did the track listing this time, real quick, and was just like, yeah, that's it. Or we did it together. I can't remember, to be honest. But it was really like, that's, yeah. Because the album kind of wrote itself.
Yeah.
Like, War was the first song we wrote. Danker was the last.
Okay.
We wrote the opener, we wrote the ender. And then, like, you know, you just like, normally we write quite quickly. And we're very, like, this album was all about momentary acceptance and self. So it was like, once we wrote War, which was all about inner conflict, we had loads of inner conflict. It took a long time to write the next song. But then when that happened, it was the next song on the album, Grounds. And then the rest of the album was written in like 2 months. Me and Bowen finished off about 8 songs in one sitting.
Wow. Get it done.
Yeah, we weren't in the room together much at all for ages because the boys, me and Bowen, had kids. And like, yeah, we just had kids, so the boys had
tour was announced. Big tour for next year.
Yeah.
Let's all hope it happens. 4 nights at Brixton. That's exciting.
Yeah.
4 nights at Brixton.
Almost sold out.
The record is 7, so let's carry on.
The record is
7 nights. That was the record of consecutive nights at Brixton Academy is 7. That was the XX in 2017.
The XX?
Yeah. Can you believe it?
I was with my mate today. We put them on at the CIA Cardiff in the Moat Point Arena, and they sold out in 15 minutes.
I don't get it. It's nice. It's very nice. I just think it's a weird, I don't know. The whole concept of that live would be a bit odd for me.
I've seen it. I saw them at Glastonbury. They were amazing.
Okay. Joe, we're going to move on because it's like we've been talking for well over an hour and a half now. So, and I want to finish off with a very quick fire because everyone has that. You're the only one that's had it twice. Okay.
All right.
So, are you ready?
Thanks. Yeah, I'm ready.
Number 1. What is the sound of the sword going in?
Watching.
What is the sword hitting?
Armor.
Game of Thrones style.
Yeah, boy. I mean, it is like, you know, it's a metaphor for anyone that doesn't understand. I don't own a sword. I have got a bread knife, though, which is kind of like a sword.
Boxing gloves now.
So watch out.
Watch out. Cake or pie?
Kick. Easy. Cake. Victoria Sponge all fucking day, mate. Cake.
What's the worst thing about not touring?
The internet. Paying attention to the internet.
What was your favourite pro wrestler?
Coco Beware, man. He had a parrot.
Really?
Yeah. What, as in really, is that your favourite one?
No, really, as in did he have a parrot?
Yeah, man. Coco Beware, yeah. Do you know what? I take that back. Coco's out. Bret the Hitman Hart.
Okay.
He was my favourite back in the day. Yeah, he was. Before that was Hogan.
Who's the band that you don't think we know about but we should do?
The Cool Greenhouse. Hold on. There's other bands. UK, Cool Greenhouse or Big Joni? US, Special Interest.
Oh, look,
there's another artist that hold on. I mean, my phone is fucking shit.
it's full of shit, probably. Quick fire.
Sorry, go on then. Oh yeah, it's live, isn't it?
Go on. Yeah, it is live, mate. We can't chop this out. Poor little Ben sitting the other side of the screen. He's already fallen asleep.
Never mind. Right.
Favourite biscuit.
What?
Your favourite biscuit?
Oh, chocolate hobnob.
Oh, that's like it's Steven Seagal of the biscuit world, mate.
Yeah.
Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
What did the puppy say to the snake?
Woof woof.
No, he didn't. Not on the album, he didn't.
Arr, 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 arr.
Thank you. What's the best Christmas present you ever received as a kid?
NES. Nintendo Entertainment System.
Nice.
Yeah.
No save feature. You started from the beginning every fucking time. That was hard when we were kids.
Yeah.
Your non-idols related, what's the one thing you're most proud of?
I haven't really achieved anything else, to be honest, Brian.
Fuck off. Okay, Billy Idol or Eric Idle?
Eric Idle. Absolutely.
10 pints of G. What does that mean?
10 pints of Guinness.
A Guinness? Okay.
Yeah, pint of G, Guinness, yeah.
Who can drink 10 pints?
The fastest.
Ever. You can't do 10 pints in a night of Guinness, surely.
Yeah.
Favourite chocolate milk?
Chocomel from Holland. Or Sissimel, that it's called. It's the same drink, but Sissimel is in Belgium, I think. But if you're in Holland, it's called Chocomel.
Kenny Beats or Kenny Everett?
Kenny Beats.
Pineapple or melon?
Pineapple. Come on, man. That's easy.
Celebrity you'd most like to meet?
Fuck. Bill Murray.
Okay. You got Bill Murray tattoo, I do believe.
Yep.
How many consecutive roly-polies can you do, Joe?
In this room? 2. No, 1. I don't know. Consecutive roly-polies. I'm estimating 20.
Okay, well done. Noel or Liam?
Liam.
The band you would most like to work with?
Radiohead.
Who would play you in a film?
Wrong. Nick Cave in the back. No, Grinder Man.
Oh, that's 3.
Grinder Man.
Okay, Grinder Man. Who would play you in a film?
Not someone very handsome. Do you know? Oh, I know who'd play me. I have to get him up though. Bear with me. This won't take as long.
What? Finding something in your phone?
He's in a film I'm watching right fucking now. Eddie Marson.
Okay, I don't know him. I'll Google it.
Eddie Marson, he's the husband in Tyrannosaur.
Okay, again, I'll Google it.
Horrible character. He's a genius actor, Eddie Marson.
Who's your
driving instructor in Happy Go Lucky?
Okay. What's your favourite band ever?
The Walkmen.
Brutalism, Joy, Ultra Mono are all 42 minutes long. Why?
Because that's the most you can get on a 12-inch vinyl before the sound quality is diminished.
Is that real?
That's real, family.
Brilliant. Harry Potter or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Well done, well done.
I mean, I know everyone thinks I'm posh in that, but I cannot fucking stand those films. I cannot stand Harry Potter. I don't get it. I don't get it. I didn't read the books. It's all good. I understand that people love it. It's all good. Enjoy yourselves, kids.
I'm absolutely with you. It's dull as fuck. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Where I'll be in, you know, wherever my daughter is in the world.
What?
Music, and if I'm not, you know, if it's not paying the bills, I'll be making music and paying the bills.
In 2016, the first Idols t-shirt that we are aware of was released, and it was a picture of blurred Dev. Remember it?
And some safety glass, yeah, in Germany.
How many t-shirts have you released since then? To the nearest 5?
To the nearest 5? 80?
105.
Are you serious?
100, yeah. The 105th one was the last. Abbey Road was 103. Yeah, 105 different t-shirts. Someone did the research. Nickers did the research online.
That's sick.
In 3 years, Joe. It's brilliant.
You know what? The rarest one is obviously the Dev one, then.
Well, no, because you had the limited edition Moscow one. Seems to be the one everyone seems to be. Remember the one when you played Russia?
Yeah, the blue.
The tiger t-shirt in blue.
Yeah,
that's the one. That's the pinnacle that everyone classes as the rare t-shirt.
Do you know what? What would be good? What would have been good is to do a quick fire. How many t-shirts can you name?
Well, just flap them up. Yeah. What's your favourite insect?
Ladybird.
What really, really, really gets on your nerves?
What really? Banging my head. It fucks me off to no end.
Is it quite a common occurrence?
Nah, it ain't. Banging something like your shin or something.
Yeah,
banging something. My mate Conan, he's a real toe rag.
I know Conan.
He was like, oh, you're getting angry at an inanimate object. What a cunt. And I was like, oh. Do you know what I mean? It's something lame about punching a cupboard because you accidentally banged your head on it. It's lame, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit silly.
Punching a table because you shinned it. you basically double lose. You make a twat of yourself and then you humiliate yourself with an inanimate object. The inanimate object wins twice if you retaliate because you're not going to win.
And it was completely unaware it did it. Don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Favourite cartoon?
Oh, I mean, I don't like cartoons. I used to love them, yeah, obviously. What was my favourite cartoon? Probably Thundercats.
Nice.
Later than that, do you know what? I wasn't really into cartoons. Thundercats. Favourite animated film?
Yeah.
Robin Hood.
What,
Robin
Disney?
Hood and Little John riding through the forest. Under that. Do they reused stock cartoon footage from Robin Hood in Jungle Book?
Did they?
Yeah, you know, because like Baloo and obviously the bear are the same shape, and the fox and Mowgli are the same shape. And there's a scene where they're walking through the forest, and it's used in the Jungle Books, walking through the jungle scene.
Whoa, I learned something.
I mean,
Joe, describe Ultramono in 3 words.
I am I.
Oh, straight off your head then. Well done, mate. Last question, describe Joe Talbot in 3 words.
I am I.
We can go on. Joe Talbot, we've done nearly 2 hours, mate. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian, for everything, obviously. How are you feeling? Are you feeling good?
Yes, mate, I'm good. I'm staying positive as fuck as much as I can. I'm not letting this year get me down.
No.
I'm just trying to spirits up, mate. Spirits up.
Well, send my love to the Afghan.
Of course.
And encourage them if you can. I don't know how much they listen to you, Brian. I can't imagine there's much conflict within the group. But if people do slag us off, encourage them to encourage it. And find out why. It'd be interesting to be like, yeah, fair enough. You think why is that? And then, you know, it's way more interesting than defending an album you like. Like, something going, I hate chocolate. Instead of going, fuck off, chocolate's amazing. Wouldn't it be interesting to find out why they don't like chocolate?
And on that bombshell,
I feel like I'm worried that in all the interviews I've come across defensive, like, or upset because so-and-so doesn't like our band or has slagged us off. Like, I don't like being threatened. I don't like people saying they're going to destroy idols. That's something I fucking don't like. But saying you think we're shit or whatever, any criticisms is welcome because we're just music.
And it'll be fucking boring if we all like the same thing. That old cliche as well.
Yeah.
We'd be talking about Phil Collins all night otherwise. There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, let's cancel culture and let's go out there and chase the pricks away.
Oh shit, my cat's just jumped on the table.
Oh, Joe, see the cat?
He's fucked off now.
Is he a not friendly one? I like the not friendly one.
He likes love when he likes love. He's not in a love mood tonight.
Consent,
yeah, exactly. Joe Talbot, thank you very much for being here.
Brian Mimpress, thank you for being here.
I will talk to you very soon again. Hopefully we'll be out on the road sometime next year and we can all party like fucking animals again.
Give me a ring.
We'll do.
All right, lots of love.
Lots of love. See you later. Bye-bye.